this crooked setup. I'm really sorry about that. It is my tripod that has always been a bit crooked for a long time. So I apologize. I gotta squeeze this back in and put it all over the place. But I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. It is the afternoon, and um, it's a pretty sunny day. It's still a bit cold, but not iced cold. It's like cool, pretty cool. So speaking of pretty cool stuff, goodness gracious me, it's focusing, then it's unfocusing. Like it doesn't know what it's supposed to do. Put my fingers in. Okay. So, anyways, I want to give you guys some updates on some stuff. Obviously, oh no, my nose feels a bit stuffed. I've been drinking some milk lolly for some time. So, yeah, I think I drank like three or four of them. And um, my neck hurts. My neck really hurts. So I'm just struggling right now to um, speak. Oh boy, I should have got a chair with a neck rest. Oh boy, this is kind of difficult. I need like a really good setup. I really need to change my setup. I've been planning on changing my setup for some time. My goal is to kind of swap it up, to start using my black desk, which is weird because I don't know, it's been a while since I've used it. I used to use it a lot back in the day when I was young. That used to be my primary YouTube space, but then all of a sudden that just stopped. And that's the problem. It's like I really enjoyed using that, but then it was just completely pushed aside. It's so bright, honestly, I can't even see my screen. But I like bright days compared to the horrifying cloudy days, because those cloudy days don't really make any sense. Yesterday was a cloudy day, and I never liked it. My neck hurts. Well, it's the bottom bone of the neck, really hurts. And no matter how I sit, it's gonna hurt. That's a big problem. Anyways, I have to move slowly. Okay. Anyways, I'm pretty excited for. It's not focusing. Oh my gosh, it's not focusing. I think it's the tripod that's just wobbling about, that's making it unfocused. So, why haven't I been posting content is an interesting question. I would like to talk about, a question no one asked. Maybe some people were wondering, but why weren't I making content besides the time I was like, with, I had surgery. Besides that time, um, obviously, I don't have a proper excuse now not to make content. I just don't know what content to make. I really don't know what content to make. Growing up, I really fell in love with YouTube because it was one of the best things to do. You can record yourself playing video games or just vlog your life. That was so um, enchanting at the time. And I've made like over hundreds of videos. Even though I've had my previous accounts taken down, I have made a lot of a lot of videos on YouTube. I've spent so much time constructing YouTube channels, just for it to fall down. That's so ridiculous. Also, I'm sorry about my voice. As I said, my nose is a bit stuffy. I've I've drunk so many milk lollies, and I don't think I should be drinking more. My nose is just horrible now. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, when it came to YouTube, I really was in love. But that's the problem. That's the problem. Um, I I focused so much on YouTube that I forgot about other things in my life, my other aspirations. And when um, you could say 20, I don't even know which specific year, but Um, I think it was the year when I dropped out of school. Obviously, I realized that I need to do something. And I was still doing YouTube at the time. My schedule was so different. Every morning I would wake up and make videos. Yeah, every morning. Um, I would record a bunch of videos and I would use my struggling laptop. My laptop wasn't that powerful at the time and it could barely render stuff. So it would take hours just to render a simple video, and it was so disappointing because when I would watch other people's videos, obviously they had a better setup, they had better equipment, better software, and I was just using some horrible stuff. Not really horrible software. You know, the software I used wasn't just mainstream. It was okay. It wasn't standard. It was something pretty useful. And I remember those days, all those days, just using YouTube constantly. And then I lost my old account, which featured three channels. One was just a commenting channel. The other two were content channel, content channels. The first one specifically was a channel that I started back in 2016, and then I abandoned mid 2017 because I felt I was too cringy and I just wanted to restart. And then from that same email, I created a different YouTube channel. With YouTube, you can take one email and create multiple YouTube channels from that one email, which is pretty useful if you want to link many channels together. But that's the thing. That's also a problem. If one channel gets three strikes, your entire email is blocked on YouTube. That means all of your channels are blocked, and that's the problem. This is why it's best to keep it separate with different emails, and it's just better in my opinion. But anyways, as I was saying, I loved YouTube, and now I'm just struggling on what content to make for you guys. You know, I would love to make some compilation videos. I haven't done one of those in a while. Now, the thing is that I don't even know if I'll ever make them because it's getting a bit ridiculous to make them. I download a bunch of stuff. I still have a bunch of footage I haven't used yet. I have like hundreds of videos I haven't used and I need to use them because there's no point in me keeping them. I might as well just delete them, you know, because there's no point in me just keeping them and not using them at all. I've planned like TG videos, stuff like that. And the only problem is that I don't really want to do those forever. Like, please understand, I love using YouTube, but the type of content I want to make, I want to change it up, you know? I don't want to do YouTube as a permanent thing because YouTube is great, but it's just not something that's going to keep the lights on, you know? I want to work on animations. I want to work on video games, comics, novels. I want to work on so many things. Oh, sorry about my nails. I never trimmed it. I'm quite lazy, actually. But anyways, um, so I'll see what I can do for this channel because this channel has accumulated a lot of subscribers, and I'm really appreciative of you guys watching me. I really appreciate it because this channel just exploded with subscribers. When I used to not post anything with this channel, I received like 60 something subscribers, and I needed to do something with the amount of subscribers. I needed to post something. So I ended up posting just a few videos, and then my channel grew. And since 2019, I think, I've been stuck on 1,000 subscribers. Now, the problem with growing a channel like this is not a mainstream type of channel where you want it to grow to 1 million subscribers. It won't make sense. Sometimes you have to keep this channel by, you could say, under 2,000. That's just how it's going to be because it's a very niche topic. Not everyone's interested in it. And that's the thing, you know. I want to work on some content. I've been speaking about this for years. I've planned to work on video games, especially TG type of video games. But the problem with that is, where do I post them, and how do I even just publish them? You know, I feel like Steam is the only good place where you can publish those types of games. I don't know about consoles, but I could be jumping ahead of myself. When it comes to video games, I realize that I should not be chasing trends. I should be just focusing on simpler things, you know, maybe complicated games, but that doesn't look super realistic. Honestly, when you see all those other beautiful video games, you really get jealous of it. You wish your games could be just like that, but it can't. You have to work your way towards that, and I have to work my way towards that. I would love just to have like good looking games at least. It doesn't have to be realistic, as long as it looks beautiful, as long as it looks dazzling. That's the way to go. So yeah, I promise a lot of TG stuff, but I don't only want to do TG stuff. I want to do so many other things. I want to do um, young adult stories, horror stories, gore stories. I also want to make some um, children's content. But of course, it's like I know for a fact I'm gonna struggle writing for a younger audience because I'm so used to writing stories, mostly draft stories um, on adult stuff. Like action and violence, and I do have some wonderful ideas for that demographic, but writing for children, that means you have to really make it extra consumable, you know. Um, so last year I read the entire Harry Potter series, and honestly, I can't believe I was skipping out on that series. What a wonderful series! I'm completely, um, so completely, what's the word? I don't even know. I'm completely glued onto the series. Even though I finished all 7 books, there's something that keeps wanting me to go back. Now, the reason why I bought those Harry Potter books was because I wanted to study how can you write a good children's series, and I studied the 7 books. I enjoyed them, and I'm really going to take a lot of whatever I've learned from those books and just regurgitate it into my formula. Because the thing about writing children's books is I shouldn't treat it like writing adult books. You can't just write continuously, like just continuous sentences with extreme extreme amounts of difficult words and just non-stop description. Sometimes you got to slice it up, sometimes you got to be simple, sometimes there are points where you have to be excessively descriptive, and sometimes you just have to be plain and simple. And I've also learned about pacing too. I've learned about pacing the stories. I've learned about first chapters. I've learned about cover pages. And I've learned about so many things just studying these 7 books, which is so amazing. I would love just to like get into another series just to see what's going on, but I don't even know which series to get into because I don't know if I want to get into something that I might be disappointed in, because the Harry Potter series I was not disappointed in, and it was a lovely treat. And I want to make something like that. If I even get to write the children's books I have ideas for, then I want it to feel like escapist content. I want it to be imperative for, what's the word? I want it to be imperative for just, you could say, happiness, because when I read those Harry Potter books last year, I forgot about all my problems. I forgot about all the things I was going through. Because last year, you guys know, I was going through a lot. I was going through so much. And not just like with my body, but also emotionally as well. There were days where I just could not take it. I just had to like not do anything sometimes, or change my mind and watch something, because obviously I was really saddened by the situation I was in, and I thought there is no hope. So I remember reading these books, and obviously it's been like you could say almost a month or two it took to like complete the entire series. And as I was reading those books, I remember just having the time of my life, especially nighttime. I would read for like hours, read like a couple of pages, and then I would basically, um, look at the time. It would say things like it's 9 o'clock, and then I turn a couple more pages, and then it's like 11 o'clock, and then I had to um, quickly go and uh, you know go to the bathroom, pee, and then just come back and sleep. I did not want to sleep, and that's what I want to write. If I'm writing a children's story, I want the story to be so captive. I want it to be so comforting. So if anyone's feeling down, they can read the book and just feel excited. I want those type of books to exist, and I really hope I get to write those books. Now, also, what about politics? Writing politics. I don't mind about fictional politics. Writing fictional politics is actually pretty fun, but the problem is that I don't want to write a lot of just too much of it. I rather just write a couple of it and that's it. I'm more of a fan of writing escapist content. Even if I work on adult content, it's going to be escapist content. Majority of the time, it's going to be escapist content, because over the past few years, I've um, I've uh, changed my ways of just wanting negative stuff. Now I yearn for all the positive stuff. So I just don't want to get into things that will make me upset, and I think it's not worth it, you know? So yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. It's like mostly you will get escapist stuff if it's for an adult demographic, or if it's for a younger demographic. It's going to be more escapist content. I think it's just good to write escapist stuff. I don't want people to feel horrible all the time and think about politics. That's really ridiculous. And not just politics, but any other problem in their life. Last year, I was completely saddened, completely down, and um, I couldn't even focus on politics. I couldn't even focus on the arguments online, because I was having my own problems. So I just couldn't give any second to politics. I feel like last year I kind of lagged away from politics the most compared to previous years. Like even in 2020, I remember, fixated on politics. 2021, fixated on politics a bit, but then 2022, and I would say 2023, especially 2023, I just kind of like left off. And because I was sick, I just wasn't interested in so many things. And um, during that time when I was reading those Harry Potter books, I was um, completely taken to another world, where I just wanted nothing but to relax and just enjoy myself. I forgot about being sick. I forgot about all my problems, and yeah, um, that's the thing. And when I finished the book series, it was a bit disappointing, because obviously there's not much to go and read. But I did finish some of the books. This year I finished. I think it was this year. I think it was this year I finished the Jurassic Park book. So this is a Jurassic Park book. I actually bought this for my father, and my brother read this, and then I read this. And honestly, I remember reading it earlier um, this year, and it was such a fun read. Better than the movie, in my opinion. Oh, by the way, a new Jurassic World movie is coming out next year. I don't know how they're going to strum up a new story, but hopefully it's better than the previous one because the previous movie was horrible. Okay. And I was waiting for that movie since 2018, ever since I watched Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I was waiting for the third installment of Jurassic World, but obviously it was a bit disappointing. It didn't make sense. So, yeah, the book is just the way to go. I did not complete the Lord of the Rings series. I have a couple more pages, a couple more chapters to finish, and I think that's about it. I also have The Hobbit to read. I think I should be giving this more thoughts and read at least a chapter a day. Any other books? I also have the Narnia series, which I've only gotten like I finished the first book and I just gotten into like the second book. So yeah, there's a long passage to go. But I'm really looking forward for reading some other series, something more comforting. You know, I think that would really do. Something comforting, but I don't even know. Now the thing is, I have wonderful ideas for comforting series. You know, really wonderful ideas. And the thing is that I just don't know where on earth I'm going to publish all my books because I know for a fact my audience, majority of them are not South African. Majority of them come from America or Europe or even parts of Asia or even Australia or South America or okay, everywhere else but South Africa. So I need to find a publisher that would actually publish my books. And I want to go self-publishing because self-publishing is is a bit better instead of running around different places just to print my books. I think self-publishing is better because I can control it. Now, it's going to cost to edit some stuff. This year I was planning to buy a new console, but honestly, I don't know. I think I might as well save that money for paying an editor for my book. That would be much better because they cost a lot, especially for like a couple of thousand words. The pricing is ridiculous. So I hope my works is pretty good enough so I don't have to pay that much for an editor, or maybe I can find a cheap editor. We'll see. We'll see. But I want to publish my book worldwide so everyone can get it, no matter where you are. And I think I live in an amazing time, moment in history where I can actually publish on my own and save a lot of money. You know, look, even if I earn not much, I would still be happy. I would still be happy because I just want to start earning something. And starting with comic books and novels is one way of really earning some revenue. Now, the thing is that when it comes to comic books, I can't make 4 panel strips and ship it. I need to have like a full book, something with like 60, 70 pages. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a problem. I have to create some interesting characters just to fit in those comics. But I do have some interesting content, like action content for comics. I just really need to plan those things out specifically. And also, speaking of comics and stuff, I really need to do more drawings. It's been a while since I've drawn on uh, on paper. It's been such a long time. And honestly, I kept finding excuses not to draw. Even today, I was finding some excuses not to write. It's really disappointing, honestly. I really need to just get into the writing phase. And the best way to get into writing is just listening to music. So, anyways, yeah, I want to work on different books. And also, speaking of books, I want to talk about writing some interesting stories, like pro-life stories. Now, this is going to be a bit weird because obviously I would love to write a bunch of escapist content, but at the same time I also want to work on some political stuff and sometimes just some pro-life stuff. And I think that's the best way of me contributing to a pro-life culture. It's for me to just create something because I cannot protest. I'm terrible with debates. So what can I do really? I've donated whenever I've had money in the past. I've donated to many places, but still I don't have enough money. Um, but still, it's like when I felt I had a certain amount, I gave, and that's the thing. It's like um, I gave, I promoted, I shared some stuff, but there's so much I could do right now. Now, the thing is that how about I start working on some pro life stories to really cultivate pro life culture? Because the crazy thing is that we live in a culture that immediately promotes this type of anti life culture. And that's the scary part because no one's really fighting back besides protesting and sharing stuff online and donating and and debating. Those are like the four ways people are winning, but it's not gonna win like that. You're not going to win like using those strategies forever, because debates, they can easily ban the debates, which they've been doing for all types of debates. When it comes to donations, obviously that's just a really imperative way to help people out. When it comes to, but still, it's like the thing is that you really need a lot of money too, and you need to have a lot of followers so you can share out all of these uh, all of these GoFundMe pages. What else? So yeah, it's like you really need to change stuff. Protesting is one thing, and it really, really, brings eyes to your movements. But still, it's just a small thing, and not everyone protests. Not everyone who happens to be pro-life protests. Some of us can't protest, or some of us live in areas where we can't even protest at all. So yeah, but that's the thing too. In Scotland, do you support exceptions for abortion in cases of the mother's life being at risk, fatal fetal complications that could lead to low quality of life, or the baby being the result of rape and incest? I used to be, I used to be, um, I used to be, um, a few years ago, I used to be pro-life, but with a few exceptions. Now I'm 100% pro-life, you know, because back then I never really understood that much. And still too, it's like, I struggle with debates and stuff, but still it's like after really trying to understand what's going on, I realized that I need to be 100% pro-life. So I used to be pro-life with exceptions like rape and incest. Um, but now it's like no, no. um, I've changed. I've changed. But as I was saying, I really want to cultivate a pro-life culture. And if I can write some pro-life stories, and I don't mean like the the type of like stereotypical stories that you would expect. Um, some interesting fantasy with some pro-life elements, that would be fantastic. But I think, even the pro-life stuff is interesting, but then, a while ago I had an interesting concept about just creating stuff that is important to me. For example, creating strong masculine characters. There's a lack of strong masculine characters in media, and instead of me just only complaining about it, the best thing I could do is create some strong male characters. So it's okay if a baby is the result of rape and incest, especially when incest that could lead to genetic abnormalities and that could lessen the kid's quality of life. I think the child deserves at least a chance of life, even if it's not going to be that long. So yeah, when it comes to like strong masculine characters, absolutely I have to work on those stories. And that's the thing too. It's like we have all these debates online about about strong male characters, strong female characters, um, and promoting that type of culture where we can have awesome characters. But that's all it seems like we're getting out of only talking. I think we should try and do more than that. But that's going to take some time, really. You know, you can't really advertise your work as strong masculine characters. You have to give the character a bit more personality so people can fall in love with the character. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Um, I've just realized there is a filter thing on my screen. I'm guessing I can change the filters. I will mess with that feature in the next live stream. Hopefully in the next live stream, or else I'll forget. Um, but still, it's weird to have a filter button on live streaming. That's mostly for things like Instagram and Snapchat. Those type of stuff. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Okay. Uh, okay, one more comment. So incest isn't actually that bad because it results in babies. Incest is bad, but the thing is that I don't want the baby to be punished for the ridiculousness of the parents. You know, um, I don't want the child to be killed because the parents were related. I don't want that. I think the child deserves a chance. It's ridiculous what the parents did, but still, I don't think the child deserves that. Anyways, so yeah, I will mess. Oh no. Okay. Oh, for a second, I thought I pressed something. Okay. Bye.